Good evening and welcome to all the participants joined in the virtual program on work-life balance conducted by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person, Dr. Minalini Shah, and our experts, Mr. Deepak Khanduri and CA Dr. Pradeep Gupta. For introducing the today's resource person, Dr. Minalini Shah, I would like to request Mr. Deepak Khanduri, and thereafter he will hand over the session to Dr. Minalini Shah for further proceeding. Over to Mr. Deepak Khanduri.
Thank you, Dr. Samit. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Minalini Shah, Professor of Management, IMT Ghaziabad, and Vice President, POMS India Chapter. Dr. Shah is a distinguished academician with a doctoral degree in computer science and a prestigious European Commission postdoctoral fellowship in supply chain management from Warsaw University, Poland. She has also attended a Glocol 2018-19 program at Harvard Business School and a summer school at St. Gallen University, Switzerland. Her contributions has earned her numerous awards, including the Ames International Awards for a second Best Women Researcher and the Best Research Paper Award at national conferences. Beyond academia, she is a passionate practitioner of heartfulness meditation and an avid reader and a trekking enthusiast. She is also a heartfulness trainer. With this short introduction, I hand over the session to Dr. Shah.
Thank you so very much, Deepak brother and Dr. Samit Patra. My heartfelt pranam to all. So, today's session, we are going to talk about rejuvenation. We are talking about work-life balance and how to make that work-life balance. Yesterday, we talked about meditation and concentration and how that differs. So concentration is effort and focus, whereas meditation is effortless focus, connecting to yourself. So concentration is about mind, and meditation nourishes heart and emotion, right? And the very basic purpose of life, or life itself, is about being happy and full of love. So when we talk about meditation, today we are going to talk about how can we go for rejuvenation, going much beyond work-life balance. So from balance, how can we go into integrating work and life together? But before we get into that, let's go for a process of check-in, taking a pause and connecting to yourself. So I'll do it with, I'll guide you across for this whole process. So I hope we are all ready. So please close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let go. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let go. Bring yourself, your attention to your heart and connect with your heart. Go deeper and deeper to that source of energy. Which is hidden deep inside us, in your heart. and pray that all the hearts are connected and we are understanding what is intended for us. That's all. So, with the closed eyes, observe your heart's condition and how are you feeling. And then slowly open your eyes. Today, we are going to understand the process of rejuvenation. Have you ever felt that when you are physically unwell, somehow you're emotionally also drained? And when you are emotionally unwell, you feel a little low. That also gets reflected in some forms of physical unease, illness, and discomfort. Have you ever wondered why it's so? So let me take example of 5 koshas as mentioned in Taittiriya Upanishad. So the 5 koshas, our body or our koshas as it is said, are actually combination of 5 bodies. The first one is Annamaya kosha or physical shed. That is this body, which you can feel, which is made of food and water. The second is Pranamaya kosha or life force shed. Pranamaya, which is also linked to our breathing patterns. The third one is Manomaya kosha or emotional shed. So man is where our emotions are, right? The fourth one is Vijnanamaya kosha or wisdom set. And that finally the innermost is Anandamaya or bliss. What happens is when all these 5 bodies are aligned, then we are in the blissful stages. So the first one, second one, and the third one, the physical body, the pranamaya body, and the manomaya kosha. All these 3 affects each other a lot. For example, sometimes you might feel when you wake up in the morning that, oh, I'm feeling a little low. And the minute you start feeling a little low, or you are down emotionally or in mental levels, it also affects your physical movement and the work. You say, oh, I'm not up to doing the work, right? You feel difficulty in walking. You feel difficulty in breathing, or many such patterns. Whenever you are emotionally disturbed, it creates, and scientifically also, and medicationally also, the doctors also says the same. And that's how the mental illnesses, etc., comes in. So when you say stress is also part of a disturbance in your manomai kosha. And what happens when you are in a stress? You sometimes even start having difficulty in breathing in. And some other time when it is not so obvious, you feel a little lethargic. That means it's also coming in your physical shit. It's very medication, experimentations in all possible directions. Scientific experimentations has also proven the same. Once all these three bodies are aligned, then you reach towards the Vijnanamaya Kosha or the wisdom set. Now, what is Vijnanamaya Kosha? Vigyan means knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of yourself. Knowledge of knowing who you are. Knowledge of knowing and connecting what you want. How should you go about it? Right? And all these five things. So once we know that these three things, the Annamaya, the Pranamaya, and Manomaya, has to be aligned. And this is where we are getting into when we say there has to be a balance and a moderation in your work and in your life. So when you say balance and moderation, it means balancing in all dimensions of wellness: physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, intellectual, career-wise, social, community, creativity, and your. So when you are saying, in today's time, when we are talking about sustainability, obviously we are also talking about the environmental wellness. So when we are talking about all these kinds of wellness, how does that happen? That will happen only and only when there is a moderation. अति का भला न बरसना, अति की भली न तू. अति का भला न बोलना, अति की भली न चू. Right? So we say everything has to be a balance and a moderation. So how do you realize that this is a moderation? Or what is expected from us? So it takes me towards a story. You all must have heard this story, but let me narrate it. And this is a story of a tortoise and a geese, and two geese. So they used to be in a forest, and we used to read this story in our nursery classes, childhood. So you all might be remembering it. So there were two geese and one tortoise living peacefully, happily in a lake, and were very, very friendly. But once there was drought happen. And because of that drought, and this whole place started drying up. The trees started drying up. The grass started drying up. The people in the villages started leaving the place. So the geese who were flying, they came back and they told the tortoise that we think that it's time to leave. So we are saying goodbye to you. We are going to another place. And tortoise asked, where are you leaving? And they said, we have found a lake nearby and we are going to that lake. Now tortoise said, dear friends, can you also take me with you? And geese said, we'll fly, but you can't fly. So how can we take you? But turtle wanted to go with the geese, and hence the friends together thought that, okay, we'll take you along with us. So we'll hold a wooden rod, and you're supposed to hold this rod with your mouth, and you'll fly with us. Tortoise agree, and hence they flew. When they were flying, they moved, and then suddenly there came down a village where few people saw this, and they were very surprised. When they saw this, they started asking the questions, oh, look at the tortoise, how can tortoise fly, and all those kinds of things. And listening all those things, tortoise suddenly thought of saying something to the villagers, and the minute the tortoise opened mouth, he fell down. He fell down and died. So what do we learn from this story? So there are many lessons to it. One, which we read during childhood, was ego, right? So if tortoise would not have felt that ego, would not have opened his mouth and could have saved. But there is more to than to that. The first thing, the lesson which I see from this story is self-centered control and focus. If tortoise would have been focused and would have self-control, the story would have been something else. Is that not true for us as well? Are we focused? Are we focused to the work which we want to do? Do we have self-control? And these two things are extremely important, especially in today's time, because when we are trying to work or simultaneously, there is a disturbing technology all the time with us, and that's our mobile phones and all the apps which are there with us. The technology has its plus point, like right now we are using it, but then it has other ways also, which are a lot of distractions. For example, your social media. So the minute we read something on social media, right, we lose focus, we lose self-control. It creates a lot of desires in us. If you start watching a reel, you keep on getting into the reel and into next reel and third reel and the fourth reel, and sometimes you don't know where the hours has been passed by. While doing the work, we go and distract ourselves. And that distraction again takes its toll, because that means we are losing our self-control on ourselves and not focusing on what we are supposed to do. The second is the most loving part of the story is collaboration and trust. The geese collaborated and tortoise completely trusted on them. And the two geese who were holding those rod to take a tortoise with them from one lake to another lake. Can we develop this collaboration among our team members and trust, both at workplace and at home? If we'll start collaborating, not putting all the burden to one or two, or not taking it all on us, perhaps it will be easier to find this balance. It will be more than the balance. The third is patience and moderation in everything. When to act and when to keep silence is one of the very, very important notion. And when I say silence, I'm not only saying that to stop talking. This silence is actually referred to the silence deep within us. And this also is about knowing when to check in. We are saying since we started this program, we are practicing this check-in process, centering process. Before we start any work, go inside you. See how are you feeling? What is happening in your heart? Center yourself. Collect all your energies and then start the new work, right? And most important thing from this story is knowing your priority. The priority over fleeting desire or external validation. What creates imbalance is also, let's say, the social media, right? Let's say Facebook, and you were just checking Facebook or Instagram, and you saw your friend is holidaying in Goa, and immediately a desire comes in. Oh, can I go to Goa? Oh, can I go to UK? Oh, can I also roam around the places? And in the whole process, sometimes we do not even realize that we are watching the photos of 50 different people in 50 different places. But we alone want to go to all those places. And that desire, when gets unfulfilled, creates a lot of impressions, the sadness, the anger, and the greed. So there is a desire, there is an energy imbalance is happening inside us. The same thing happens when we see a photograph where somebody has bought a new car or a big house or a award or any of those, right? And all these things together or anywhere, these are the very common sources of desires, which creates a dissatisfaction within ourselves. I have done this, so I'll go to the boss and wants the boss's validation. Why? Why an external validation is required when you know that you have given your best? And mind it, it will happen when you are giving your 100% to whatever you are doing. When you are at home, you are completely, totally at home. Doing, perhaps taking your food, perhaps investing your time with your children, perhaps going out in the market along with your spouse. So whatever and wherever you are, be it in office or be it at home. So if you are 100% in the work and in the place wherever you are, you don't need an external validation. And if you need an external validation, please do check in. What inside you is craving for that external validation? Knowing yourself is extremely important while knowing your priority. Which one? Our guru used to say, one of the teacher which I had, he used to say, don't tell me what is your priority. The work which you are doing right now is actually your priority. So whenever you'll be late, so you have a time, meeting time with him, and by chance you are a 1 minute or 30 minutes or 5 minutes late, even in meeting or calling, and you say, oh, sorry, I got busy. And, no, that is my priority, but I got busy. So he used to say, don't tell. Whatever you act actually decides what is your priority. So check your priority. Is it there because of your priority, and which priority? What are those situations which are forcing you to do this? Right? So this whole story of a very simple story which we learned in our school days actually has a very, very deep meaning at every stage, whatever we go through. Now, let me come to one more point. So when I think of this work-life balance, and when I was going through this work-life balance, so there was a situation about almost like 10, 15 years ago. I was holding a lot of responsibilities. And then because of so many pressures of life, as we describe it, I one day told to my father that I'm having these kind of problems, or perhaps, when I go for sleep, I see all those TVs, etc., whatever I was watching, that comes in my mind. When I look at some of the TV series like Crime Patrol and all, and I think that everybody is a problem. Society is having so many problems, etc. So my father told me one of the story, and I'll narrate it for you. So my father was a lawyer, and he said, so he used to go to court, and in between our home and the court, there used to be a people tree. So every day he'll wait there for 2-3 minutes, and then he'll go to court. While coming from the court home, he'll stop at that people tree next to that, and then he'll come back home. And it used to be a daily practice. So he said, do you know what I do in that people tree? And you asked me this question many a time. Today I'll tell you. And I have been taught this by my father, who was also a lawyer. And he said, when I go from home to court, I stop at that people tree and make a garland of whatever emotions I have at home and put that garland on that people tree. And then I go to court and get busy in the court in doing my work. And when I come back from the court, all the worries or all the work of all the cases which I have dealt in the courtroom or experienced during the day in my work, I make a garland of it and put it in that people tree and come back home. This story had a very, very strong impact on me. And I realized, what does exactly the garland means? It means that whatever you have at home, leave it at home and go to the work. And whatever you have at workplace, leave it there when you enter in your home. Mostly, and almost all the places, home means love. And workplace may mean many things to us. So in context of the careers, if I talk of a lawyer's career, all the time, day in and day out, they experience different kinds of cases. One brother has filed a case against another brother. Somebody has taken over your land. Some kind of a crime has happened. So the whole work situation is, which in so many ways reflect negativity. And imagine that with that negativity, if you enter in your house, you are full of all kinds of burdens, right? And the similar kind of situation may happen with you also. You are doing continuously text filings, auditings, etc., which is again finding the faults. Where is the error? That's what is the very basic job role, right? The tight timelines, etc. And all those worries with you, when you enter into home, you won't be able to give your 100%. So where is your people true? You need to learn to let go. You need to learn to come out of it so that the emotional burden of one act does not interfere with another act, another action. When you do one case, the emotions of that case should not go with you to the next client when you are meeting, because you cannot enter with all kinds of full of emotions. Recall that day when you received a call, something has gone wrong, and then you interact with the next client, and immediately that negativity is also going with you. So what is happening, right? Let go. So now the question is, how do you let go? How do you make sure that you need to check out from the office, not only in terms of putting your biometric, your fingerprints, your face impressions from that machine and checking out of office, but absolutely, completely 100% check out from all the things of that office place and move to the next place, next work, next activity. When you are at home, the same thing. So if you are struggling between a typical thing which we say between wife and mother, right? Saas bahu ka jhagda. So how do you check out? You have to be 100% wherever you are. You have to be 100% with a kid. You cannot share, you cannot take all your emotions with the kid. You have to be with the kid. And you have to bring the positivity and share that feeling and everything. So how do you allow this let go? It's easier to be said, difficult to be done. That's what the people tells me. But no, it's not difficult. We have a process in our system, which we say cleaning, rejuvenation, right? What to clean, how to let go. So if I have to tell in a nutshell, because I'm planning to take you towards this process of how can you be rejuvenating? And the process is very simple. The process depends upon how do you collect and how do you leave. If I put it in a simple context, so when you go from office to home, or when you come from outside to your home, what do you do first? You wash your hands, right? You clean your hands, you clean your feet, and if possible, you take a bath. So you basically clean your physical body. Can you clean your emotional body too? Answer is yes. So what need to be cleaned? We need to clean all the images and impressions which we collect during the day. Throughout the day, whatever we have collected, we have to clean it. And that lies within us in the form of images and impressions. It also is in form of some kind of impurities. And when I say impurity, what do I mean? So the purest feel, the life is happiness and love. Anything mixed with this is actually impure. Your anger is impurity. It's an emotion, it's required, but not everywhere. Right? So you have to clean it. You have to clean all kinds of complexities which has gone inside. What is the meaning of complexity? You want to tell somebody, so someone comes, and I'll put it in a joke, which comes in now very much memes form, where the wife is ready and asks, so how do I look? And you have to say, oh, you are looking very good. You are looking fantastic. What if you want to say, no, it doesn't look good? And imagine it's not wife or if it's somebody else. Then also we say, yeah, you are looking good. You are looking nice, right? So this is a complex situation. You can't upfront say it. Should you say it? No, you shouldn't say it as well. I mean, just keep quiet. Right? But then we can't keep quiet. We just say, yeah, you are looking good. So this is also a kind of impurity. This is also a kind of complexities which comes in. And the third thing which affects our imbalance or our balance is prejudices. This happened 2 years ago. So this person has done this with me when I was young. He's going to do it again. No, that person is always bad person. He has always done this kind of a exhibition. He has always done some kind of a cheating. Right? He's extremely good, all the time good. So these are prejudices. We end up seeing the people in the past, how they have behaved, how they have been. We don't see the people they are as of now, as of today. And that's a prejudices. So we have to clean all the impurities, complexities, images, impressions, prejudices. And how do we clean? We clean it by the way of willpower. So we take a process where we say all these images, impressions, impurities, complexities, and prejudices are leaving me from the back and in the form of smoke and vapor. And we just simply do it actively. We are not supposed to see a particular event, a particular incident, a particular person, etc. Just a random, just take it out from your system. It's like freshening up in the morning. So, but we do it once we are coming back from the office, right? So every day, put this garland back to the people tree. Put this garland back to the environment by the way of willpower. And then once you feel lighter, just get connected to that lighter energy, that positive energy, which will enter in your system, because now there is a vacuum, and then it rejuvenates you. So let me show you, or let me take you towards, guide you towards this process. And then at the end of it, we'll do meditation for some time. So if we all are ready, I'll request you all to please close your eyes. And take the normal breathing and observe your breathing. Now, take a sankalpa or a willpower, use your willpower that all images, impressions, complexities, impurities, prejudices, which are hidden from the tailbone to the top of my head, are leaving from the back in the form of smoke and vapor. And actively push it out from your system. And feel that black smoke going out from the back. Accelerate this process. And you will feel that there is a vacuum being created inside you. Now, when you feel that there's a vacuum being created and all impurities are leaving you from the back in the form of smoke, this is the time to get connected to the original source for that positive light. And that positive light is entering in the heart from the front. Feel that positive light entering in your heart from the front, coming from the source, the original source. Then through heart, it is spreading in your whole system and filling that vacuum. So there are two processes happening. From the front, the light is entering in our heart, and from the back, the smoke is accelerating. The smoke is leaving. Accelerate both the processes. And with every passing time, you will find yourself lighter and lighter. You will notice that now the speed of the smoke has reduced, and slowly, slowly, that process has almost stopped. But you are still receiving that light from the front in your heart. And if you'll observe yourself, you will find that you are very light. Now take this thought that since all the images, impressions, and impurities are gone, I'm pure. Complexity is gone. I'm simple. And hence I'm pure and simple in my most original form. If you look at your heart, you will find it in its most natural state, that is happy and full of love. Just rest there for some time. With the thought that source of that light is in my heart and is attracting me inward. That's all. Try to identify and read the condition of your heart and how are you feeling. If possible, note down the difference between pre and post. Absorb this condition to your subconscious. And spread this to all your surroundings. And whosoever meets you can feel this condition too. When you're comfortable, with a blink of eyes, you can open your eyes. Now, let me take the questions which have come in. The first question is, what is the link between employee wellness and work-life balance? Very strong relationship between employee wellness and work-life balance. If there will be no balance, then employee won't be able to give its 100%. If your employee is not happy, is not 100% there, is not healthy, physically, mentally, psychologically, in all possible work, the work will not touch its highest point. Work is a worship, right? And you can do your work with complete worship only and only if you're completely healthy, you're completely treated. So very strong relationship. The second question is, what is the integrated employee wellness program in terms of work-life balance? So post-COVID, this has taken a very front seat everywhere. And in integrated employee wellness programs, some of the things which the people are nowadays talking about is giving the flexi hours of working. Also about, if possible, the remote working, if there are certain extreme situations. When in your kind of work where there is a lot of traveling and sometimes a very hard pressures, then giving them all kinds of supports in terms of providing them some kind of medical insurances, doctors' facilities, time for family. Some of the companies in the other business sites also provides, the paid leave for going out. Sometimes, which in our systems we refer as pro-treat and retreats. So even for annual plannings, that how are we planning to take? So post a peak season of work, perhaps 2 to 3 days together, or maybe at the beginning, 1 day together as a team. When you go, you ask your families to join in. That kind of a work well in different situations. What is the relationship between productivity and leisure? I would like to define both the things. So when you're actually connected to your very core inner, and when you are doing with complete awareness, so that's how we go into the meditation. And meditation is a journey. It's not a destination. What does this journey do? This journey actually introduces us to ourselves, to our true self. And when we are introduced to our true self, we know what are our capabilities. It puts on for completely when we can harness, utilize our complete potential. And when you will be able to harness your complete potential, your productivity is for sure going 200%. And when you're doing and completely there in that 100%, you will be enjoying it. And that's whatever work you do, be it cooking at home, be it playing with the kid, be it teaching to the kid, being going for shopping with the wife or husband, be it doing some kind of your filing for the taxes for different clients, when you're interacting with the clients, when you're trying to bring in the new business, whatever, you will enjoy it, right? So productivity and leisure may become together. That's what we say. If your hobby is your work, well, all the time when you're working, that's also you're enjoying. When working hard becomes burning out, how can we manage? The burnout is when you're not there all the time. That's how the people tree. And putting a garland on a people tree is extremely important. So rejuvenate yourself and there will be no burnout. The burnout means you are burning your energies, right? When you're burning your energy, you need a continuous source of energy. And meditation is the process of the same. So meditation is when that supreme power speaks to you. Prayer is when you are speaking to that power. So the combination of meditation in the morning, collecting all your energy together, and cleaning and rejuvenation in the evening will work together and will balance it. So there was no question of burnout, right? So, and when you say maintaining peak performance, as we are saying it continuously, every time when you move from one work to another work, please do check in. Take a minute's pause and put yourself in your heart and with a simple prayer and knowing what are you feeling, how are you feeling, being true to yourself. That will put you into the peak performance. Question number 7. What are the benefits of incorporating relaxation techniques into my daily routine? Well, you have experienced it right now. How are you feeling? Right? So relaxation means you are relaxed. Relaxation means you're taking out all the negativities, all the burdens out from your system, and you're filling it with all positivity. And obviously, it will make you empty. And when you are empty from inside, you can fill in it with all positive things. That's the meditation, so knowing yourself. And together, these two things actually help you to, we call it in general sense, expansion of consciousness. But what is expansion of consciousness and what are the benefits of consciousness increase? So I'll say intuitiveness becomes one. Being there all the time becomes one. And it opens the door of your potentiality, which you have never experienced. So please do try it and experience it yourself. We say, you are the researcher. Your body is the lab. You are the experimenter. You are the object. And you're doing it on yourself. So you have to write what you feel and how do you feel and take your call accordingly. With that, it's already time 9:30. So let me say thank you very much. A heartfelt gratitude to you all. Namaste.
We are thankful to Dr. Mrinalini Shah for deliberating on various aspects of work-life balance and the employee wellness, as well as the relation between the productivity leisure and all other aspects of top one is particularly work-life balance. We are thankful for experts, CA Dr. Pradeep Gupta and Mr. Deepak Khanduri for their presence and all those things. And you as and when we require, always there with us. We are thankful to each and every participant present over here. And we are thankful to one and all. With this, we conclude the today's session. Thanks to all.